Welcome back to The Psicologyst, where intuition meets investigations. My name is Marie St. Louis. I am a clairvoyant and medium, and for many years I have worked quietly behind the scenes on missing persons and cold case investigations. Before we begin, this episode is for commentary, discussion, and entertainment purposes only. When I begin working on a case, I use only the person's name, the date they were last seen, and their last known location. I do not view maps, read articles, watch videos, or research the surrounding area until I have completed and documented my psychic impressions. In this episode, I will clearly separate the known public timeline from my documented impressions and the real locations that appear to correspond to them. A geographic correspondence means that AI identified a street, business, public facility, or physical feature resembling language contained in my original impressions. It does not prove that the person visited any of these locations or that they are connected to their disappearance. Raushan Aitpayeva was 65 years old when she disappeared from Simi Valley, California on July 11, 2025. The California Department of Justice lists her as 5 feet 2 inches tall and approximately 107 pounds, with brown hair and green eyes. She was last seen wearing a black t-shirt, black pants, white tennis shoes, and black sunglasses. She was also carrying a dark blue bag. Raushan is a devoted mother, grandmother, and lifelong caregiver who spent more than 35 years helping others through medical, hospice, and assisted living work. A family member said Raushan had a special place in her heart for older people and always wanted to make sure they never felt alone. She moved to Simi Valley in late 2024 to be closer to her daughters and help care for her grandchildren. At the time of her disappearance, she was joyfully awaiting the birth of another grandchild who was due only weeks later. Her disappearance was completely out of character. Although Raushan was active and independent, she rarely went out alone, spoke limited English, and had few social connections in the area. Her family believes she intended only to take a short walk and had no reason to leave the people she loved. On Friday, July 11, 2025, Raushan left the area of 4400 block of Alamo Street at approximately noon. She reportedly intended to take a short walk. She left her cell phone at home, and her daughter later stated that she had not eaten or had anything to drink before leaving. Early public notices placed her in the general area of Waco Avenue and Cadota Street. Raushan's family began contacting neighbors and collecting recordings from residential doorbell and security cameras. The footage allowed them to reconstruct part of her movement through Simi Valley's Texas Tract. She appeared to be walking through ordinary neighborhood streets and seemed uncertain about which direction to take. Her final confirmed surveillance sighting reportedly occurred at approximately 1:57 p.m. near Amarillo Avenue and Walnut Avenue. She appeared to be walking north on Amarillo Avenue. After that recording, the publicly known camera trail ended. Raushan's family initially led much of the search themselves. Neighbors helped gather video, while relatives, friends, and community volunteers searched streets, trails, hills, and other areas around Simi Valley. On August 11, 2025, approximately 1 month after Raushan disappeared, a detective was assigned to the case. The Simi Valley Police Department issued an alert asking residents to review doorbell cameras, home security systems, and vehicle recordings from July 11th. On September 13th, 2025, I documented and submitted my first set of psychic impressions and an AI-assisted geographic comparison to an agency connected to the case. 4 days later, Raushan's family created an official fundraiser to help hire a licensed private investigator, print flyers, obtain search equipment, and organize searches in the hills and more remote areas surrounding Simi Valley. On October 25th, volunteers from Simi Valley, Los Angeles, and Redondo Beach participated in another organized search. Bones found during that effort were turned over to authorities and later determined to be animal remains. By late October, the family had hired a private investigator and was considering expanding the search into Los Angeles County. On November 16th, 2025, I documented another set of psychic impressions. The following day, I submitted them through a person connected to the case, along with 2 AI-assisted geographic summaries. Although the family's Facebook reward notice stated that psychic or paranormal tips were not eligible, I shared the information only in the hope that it might help. I made it clear that it could be used in any way they found helpful or disregarded completely. Before discussing the psychic impressions, I need to explain one important change in the geographic analysis. When I completed my original September work, I was using the earlier Cadota Street information as Raushan's last known location. My original notes referred to the Cadota Street and Tapo Street area. I initially called it an intersection, but for geographic accuracy, I now describe it as the Cadota-Tapo area because those streets do not directly intersect. The distance numbers and northwestern direction in my first analysis were therefore interpreted from that general area. I only recently learned of the more precise surveillance sighting at 1:57 p.m. near Amarillo Avenue and Walnut Avenue. For the revised analysis in this episode, I am using Amarillo and Walnut as the more relevant starting point. I did not change my psychic impressions, I changed only the reference point used to compare them with the map. These are the primary words and phrases I documented in September. I want to read them as originally recorded before discussing the possible correspondences. So stay with me as I read them to you. Ring of well-manicured hedges around a home or business near a sidewalk. Desert pathway. 17, 1491, 1749, 2.7, 3.8, 4.1, 4.2 miles. Highway hill. Loose stretch of dirt path near tall metal structure. Dry earth. Scrubby land, barren fields that are not frequently used by the public. Exhaustion, dehydration, harsh environment, possible industrial or utility-related structure or business nearby. Discovery possible with trained group that requires detailed search. Tucked away, electricity or communication type business. Industrial or service area. Northwest direction, low-lying, washes, and culvert. Viewed together, the impressions suggest that Raushan began her walk along an ordinary neighborhood route, possibly following a sidewalk, residential street, driveway, parking area, or narrow access road. At some point, the route appeared to change near a divided path, service entrance, or area where pavement transitions into dirt, rough ground, or drainage terrain. The location does not feel extremely remote. Instead, it seems close to developed property, but partially screened from normal street view, possibly in lower ground, beside or behind nearby buildings. The terrain may include a ditch, dry wash, drainage, channel, culvert, retention area, retaining wall, embankment, or the base of a hill, chain link fencing, utility poles, power lines, communication equipment, antennas, or another tall metal structure may also be nearby. The surrounding ground feels dry, rocky, scrubby, uneven, or partially barren. My strongest behavioral impression is that Raushan may have become tired, dehydrated, confused, disorientated, or physically unable to continue walking. She may have taken a wrong turn, entered a driveway or service route, followed a path behind a building, or attempted to rest near a wall, fence, landscape property, or shaded structure. The strongest factual correspondence involves the physical condition described in my notes: exhaustion, dehydration, and harsh environment. Raushan's daughter later stated publicly that her mother had not eaten or had anything to drink before leaving home. The known timeline indicates that she had been walking outside for nearly 2 hours before the 1:57 p.m. sighting. The available surveillance footage also reportedly showing her appearing uncertain about which direction to take. This does not establish what happened after the final recording. It does, however, correspond with the physical and behavioral condition described in my September notes. My November impressions shifted towards public, municipal, commercial, and restricted access property. I documented an outdoor public pool, maintenance building, city offices, flagpoles, water treatment infrastructure, official storage, and secure entrance required a numerical code. I also noted offices, files, and cabinets, a hidden area requiring a careful search, distances between 2.0 and 5.0, a bank with limited hours, storefronts, artist suites, and pottery. The names Crooked Lane, Eve, and Hollow Point, or Point Hollow, and a passage between houses that seemed too narrow. The AI analysis grouped these impressions around municipal or public works property, maintenance and storage facilities, water infrastructure, community buildings, commercial storefronts, and narrow service or drainage passages between developed properties. The Walnut Avenue water storage tanks are among the strongest geographic correspondences northwest of the Amarillo and Walnut referenced area. City records identify Walnut Tank Number 2 as a 2 million gallon municipal tank on Walnut Avenue. The site corresponds with several psychic impressions, water infrastructure, municipal operations, controlled access, and utility property near residential streets. This does not establish that Raushan entered the property, but it creates a notable connection involving distance, direction, and the neighborhood's edge. Another specific correspondence involved the word Eve. Eve Road is an actual Simi Valley street approximately 1 mile south to southwest of the Amarillo and Walnut reference area. Its 4300 block contains a community health center and an electrical service business, creating a 3-part correspondence involving Eve, a medical facility, and electricity. Neither business is publicly connected to Raushan's disappearance. The Simi Valley Civic Complex provides another public correspondence. City Hall and the public library stand next to each other in the 2900 block of Tapo Canyon Road. Their government offices, records, and displayed flags correspond with my impression of city buildings, flagpoles, desks, files, and cabinets. My November notes included the specific phrase, outdoor public pool, Maine. Rancho Simi Community Pool, located in the Rancho Simi Community Park, is Simi Valley's public pool. It may also fall within the broader distance range connected to the number 3.8 miles, although the numerical correspondence remains unresolved because my original calculations used a different starting point. A historical article also mentioned an empty swimming pool near Walnut Avenue and Tapo Canyon Road, but its exact location, ownership, and current existence are unknown. I include it only as a possible geographic correspondence. My impression of storefront shops, artist suites, pots, and a nearby bank correspond with the Simi Valley Town Center, an open-air shopping complex. Color Cafe Pottery Painting Studio operates there, and Premier America Credit Union previously maintained a branch at the center. Together, these features create a commercial correspondence involving storefronts, pottery, and a financial institution. My impression of a water treatment area corresponds with Simi Valley's water quality control plant, a controlled municipal facility at the city's western edge. However, because it lies considerably farther west, I consider it a broader feature match. The Walnut Avenue tanks remain the stronger correspondence in direction and distance. My September impressions stated, discovery possible trained group that require detailed search. Raushan's family later organized volunteer searches, obtained search equipment, and hired a licensed private investigator. This does not identify a discovery location, but it corresponds with the need for a careful, organized ground search. As of this recording, Raushan Aitpayeva remains listed in the California Department of Justice Missing Persons database. The reporting agency remains the Simi Valley Police Department. According to the family's publicly reported timeline, her final confirmed surveillance sighting occurred at approximately 1:57 p.m. near Amarillo Avenue and Walnut Street. No publicly confirmed explanation has established what happened afterwards. In closing, Raushan is not simply a missing person case. She is a mother, grandmother, and caregiver whose family continues to wait for answers. Most importantly, Raushan has not been found. If you have credible information regarding her disappearance, please contact the Simi Valley Police Department. Contact information can be found in the episode description. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, this is the Psicologyst, where intuition meets investigations.